Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. This is Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is the Yoshikane Shitogami, our white number 2 Nashiji Nakiri 165mm knife. So as the name mentions, we got some characteristics here. So the core steel on this, which you can see peeking out from the cladding right here at the bottom, is Shitogami or white paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel. Very few things sharpen as easily as this steel, so this will make you feel like a champ on the sharpening stone. That sharpens up. It'll get razor sharp if you do your part. Edge retention is not on the high side, but it's so darn easy to sharpen you won't mind typically, and it's a delight. It'll be a delight to sharpen this thing, so it just will make you feel like a champ. The construction has soft stainless cladding on either side of the core steel. It goes over the top of the spine. That cladding has what's known as a Nashiji or pear skin finish to it. Get our beauty shot here. So it's kind of a mottled finish. This particular Nashiji on these is pretty smooth. There's not a lot of deep texture to it. Just a nice smooth Nashiji finish. And then you can see where the grind kicks in down towards the edge. It's super easy to see that. Really nice fit and finish on these. That's a fairly stiff blade. We'll look at the thickness, but they're fairly thick and stiff. Weight on this one is 209 grams or 7.4 ounces. That's a combination of the thickness of the blade. Again, the Nakiri's, it's kind of a little thicker all the way down to the shape of the blade. And then we've got solid ebony handle, which is a dense, kind of heavier wood. And so it adds to the weight overall. Heat treats around 62, 63 Rockwell on that core steel. And again, the handle is just one piece of ebony, really nice fit and finish on it. Fair amount of kind of sanding and polishing to that. So it's got a nice feel to it. Great fit and finish on it. Really tight job sealing this up into the handle. So there's a lot of really just high quality craftsmanship demoed in this knife here. Edge length, I got about 168 on the usable edge, about from the back of the heel to where that corner turns in the front. And at the tip, the overall length about 319 millimeters or 12.5 inches. And again, these are fairly thick coming out of the handle, but they thin out once you get off the handle. So I got about 4.3 millimeters at the handle, but then it goes down to about 2.4 for the rest of the blade. And this is a really nice stiff blade. A lot of stiffness to it. Blade height, I got about 53.4 at the back. Halfway down, I got about 51.2. So it's one of those that kind of loses a little bit of height as you go. The balance point's going to be pretty close to a pinch grip on it because the blade, has that mass out front versus a more traditional style, let's say Guto style. So that's the balance point about right there on this one, which for me is really close to just where you pinch on a pinch grip. So that's going to make it fairly neutral, but it's got a little bit of weight overall, which kind of gives you that kind of chopping power, which is nice in this style of blade. Out of the box edge, I'll give it about a 7 out of 10 on my scale. It was very sharp out of the box. Let's take a close-up look on the right side of the blade. You've got kanji here. It almost looks close up like it's hand engraved, which it could be. It also could be laser engraved, but it does have a little texture to it. It looks really nice, and you can see it pops on there. There's your Nashiji finish. Here's your grind towards the edge, and then there's your core steel. We've got a little more texture in this particular blade on the left side. This one has more texture than the Bunka I just looked at. So that's a little more kind of traditional Nashiji with some texture to it. So everyone's going to be a little different. And that actually helps with food release as well. Things stick less to it with that texture on there. They've done a really nice job on fit and finish on these, put some work into it. Nice polish on the spine, rounded off on the edges of the spine. They've taken some time here to really work the choil, the back of the blade here into the neck. And it's smooth there on either side. Again, great out of the box edge. Let's take a look at what it looks like on the cutting board. And these are thin where it counts. I didn't do this yet. Let me show you the choil shot so you can see it's nice and thin at the edge. So these will have nice performance at the edge, and you'll get some good food separation and probably pretty good food release with that texture on the Nashiji on the blade sides. Here's your look. So we've got a pretty flat profile here. You can always rock a Nakiri like this because, you know, right at the tip there. So you can rock this as pretty much as you want. This one is pretty flat. So it kind of, boom, it just goes into a stop there. So that's your flat spot there. So this is not going to rock. I should, you know, it's not much belly to it. Now, you might get a different one that's slightly different, but this should give you an idea of the maker. So this one, really flat. So you got a lot of good chopping area in the back there. Not a lot of belly to it at all. So if you want something that's really kind of great for chopping without a lot of belly, this might be a great candidate for you. So overall, these have excellent fit and finish, nice craftsmanship, kind of a beefy blade with high performance characteristics at the edge, excellent steel, easy to maintain with that stainless cladding. Just a great overall package. So this is the Yoshikane Shirogami or White No. 2 Nashiji Nakiri 165mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.